in mop-up mode right here, which is good news for the homes in the neighborhood. You can see there's some spots still going on, and it's going to take them a while to get to all of these. Want to tell you a little story for those just joining us about the crew that's working here. If you want to show some of them working, Tyler, right behind you. These folks are actually local. They're the Conservation Corps. You've probably seen the station over by the Roadrunner, which is not too far from where I'm standing. They were deployed for 21 days on the Dixie Fire and then the Caldor Fire. And yesterday, when the fire roared into the basin, was the end of their 2 days off. They got evacuated from their base in the middle of their days off, and they are back at it again today. So spare a thought for the guys and gals and the people that are out here working to try to keep these homes safe. It has been just an awful, awful season for them. I want to show you what it looked like a little bit earlier today, not too far from here. This was a little closer to the agriculture checkpoint firing operation. This was about mid-morning today. We had hotshot crews that were basically, you can see them with those, they call them drip torches, lighting little strips of the forest on fire, and they were trying to take it like a little chunk at a time, a little chunk at a time. The idea being that they could burn out the forest behind the homes there on their terms and with a little less intensity than if embers were to start falling and light this whole thing on fire, with wind at its back. Well, the wind started to set in a little sooner than they hoped, and they ended up having to start taking big chunks of the forest and lighting bigger stretches on fire. And it got a little hairy this morning. They actually had to call in a bunch of structure protection engines, what you know is just a regular old fire engine, to come in and help douse these houses, especially the ones on the very outermost reaches up against the forest land, so that they didn't catch on fire. But we heard smoke alarms going off inside of one of those houses for hours, so there's probably a little bit of smoke damage, but nothing burned down, which is really fortunate. It just gives you an example of the kind of risks they have to take, though, in the face of a forecast like we had today with a forest that's so full of fuel. In here, you can see they've been through with dozers and gotten it down to bare mineral earth, and they've done a bunch of this around neighborhoods all over South Lake Tahoe. That gives a fighting chance to keep the flames from creeping in and going into people's backyards and catching their decks on fire as the fire is spreading. So a lot of work done in advance of the Caldor Fire. How well it's going to hold, only time will tell. We haven't seen big embers start falling this way. The fire has largely stayed in the hills to our east, which is the direction you're looking right now. If the winds change, the story could change too.